Thanks, Sophie. Hello, you're watching Wales Today. I'm Nick Savini. The headlines. Serious flooding across parts of South and West Wales. Homes are evacuated and roads closed. In Whitland, a major incident was declared.
There were boats and people were being ferried from the other side, and there were lots of firemen.
People are pulling together and getting things done, and fortunately, nobody's been hurt.
This evening, most of the 48 residents rescued in Whitland are in hotels with no idea when they'll return home.
Also tonight, police say the dog which attacked and killed a 9-month-old baby boy in Monmouthshire was an XL bully. Fanning the flames in the row over this huge bonfire in the Rhondda. The council's worried about safety, but locals are looking forward to it.
Very exciting, very noisy of course, but there's a great atmosphere and I'm sure it'll go well and people will enjoy themselves.
Pilgrim, did you roll your hand too much?
And Shakespeare, like they've never heard before, at the iconic Globe Theatre in London. The first bilingual performance of Romeo and Juliet. Good evening. Widespread flooding across West Wales has left dozens of people spending the night away from their homes in temporary accommodation. Made in West Wales Fire Service earlier declared a major incident which included blocked roads, landslips and properties left completely cut off by severe floodwater. Eleanor Rice is in Carmarthen for us tonight. Ellie.
Yes, Nick, heavy rain and high river levels left dramatic scenes in much of Mid and West Wales today. I spent the day about 25 minutes away from here in Whitland, where overnight 48 residents were rescued from flooded flats. A major incident was declared there in what's been an exceptionally busy day for the fire service here in West Wales. This was the scene people in Whitland woke up to this morning. Heavy rain caused flooding in the village. These flats were evacuated in the early hours, the fire service using boats in some cases to help elderly residents. All 48 people living here were rescued safely.
There were boats and people were being ferried from the other side, and there were lots of firemen and lots of lights, and we didn't really think a lot of it, but then somebody shouted up the stairs that we were all flooded in the communal area, so a lot of the elderly and disabled needed to get out safely, and the firemen were amazing.
The town mayor has been on hand since 5 o'clock last night to help. He's described it as a real community effort.
Great advert for our town, because we do pull together when these things happen, and yeah, it's a good thing, I think, that's happened with the way things that people are pulling together and getting things done, and fortunately nobody's been hurt.
Flooding too in Ceredigion, and while homeowners deal with the immediate consequence, a plea to drivers to respect road closures and avoid making matters worse.
Driving past at such a speed that it causes the waves to go into your property to cause even more damage. Just have some respect for people who are flooded, because it isn't very nice at all.
And there was major disruption for morning commuters in Swansea. This was the scene at the Camburla roundabout, the second time it's flooded in 2 months because of a collapsed culvert. As the heavy rain continued to fall last night, pubgoers in Pontargothi, a quiet Tuesday evening drink became a lot more eventful.
And this is the highest point of the pub. So down there, so we've had 3 trees, 3 windows being broken by trees today. It's probably, I'm going to say, above waist height down there.
So for the businesses and homes impacted by the weather, a worrying time. Carmarthenshire Council says it's on hand to help.
The first point of contact for anyone who's been flooded, of course, is their insurance company. But that apart, £500 is being offered now from the hardship fund for residents who have been flooded. If they have no insurance, there is £1,000 available. And for businesses, as here in Carmarthen, there is £5,000 available.
Back in Whitland, after a hot dinner served by the local rugby club, it was onwards to hotels for the night. It's hard to say when they'll be able to return home.
Well, you saw the rugby club. They told me they were expecting 30 for dinner today, but instead they threw the doors open for anyone who needed it. The community in Whitland were not going to let their neighbours go without. Nick, there are still flood warnings and alerts in place across Wales. The advice, as always, is to check the Natural Resources Wales website.
Indeed. Eleanor Rice in Carmarthen, thank you very much. Some breaking news this evening. Police have confirmed that the dog that killed a 9-month-old baby in Monmouthshire was an XL bully. The boy died at a house in Roggett near Caldecott on Sunday. Our reporter Iolo Chung is in the newsroom for us. Iolo.
Well, this evening, Gwent Police issued an update following that tragic incident in Roggett on Sunday evening where a 9-month-old baby boy was killed by a family dog. Sadly, despite medical attention, the child was pronounced dead at the scene. The dog was then taken away to be destroyed, and inquiries have been ongoing since. Today, police confirmed that the dog in question was an XL bully. That is a breed of dog that has been banned in England and Wales since 2024, partly because of attacks such as this on young children. Banned, that is, unless you have a certificate of exemption. Gwent Police say the dog involved in Sunday's attack had been registered proactively in 2024, that it had been given a certificate of exemption before the ban came into effect. Because of that, the owners were not required at the time to formally identify the dog's breed, but were allowed to keep owning it. Now, this evening, police confirmed that no arrests have been made at this time, but they added that this is still an ongoing investigation. So although we do know that it was an XL bully that was involved here, we don't know the circumstances involved in that particular attack. That is still being investigated. Now, of course, the community in Roggett is still coming to terms with what's happened, but today Gwent Police acknowledged that there is a significant amount of interest and concern about this incident and asked people to consider the impact that speculation and rumour could have on the family and on the integrity of this investigation. OK, Iolo, thank you for that. On last night's programme, we brought you the devastating report into the paedophile head teacher Neil Foden, which said there had been more than 50 missed opportunities to stop him. Well, today, questions continue to be asked about how he was allowed to get away with abusing girls for so long, despite the warning signs. One of those is a former pupil at Foden's school, Ysgol Friars in Bangor, who has told us she was groomed by him over a 5-year period. She's been speaking to Ellen Wynne.
At the very heart of the report are the victims. One of them, who contributed to the investigation, is Jo, not a real name. She says that the details that have come to light are shocking. Her words are spoken by a member of our production team.
So many people could have stopped what was happening. To receive concerns from school staff and other agencies and do nothing, it's unforgivable.
Foden started grooming Jo when she was a pupil, and it lasted for 5 years. She says people had seen her alone with him and going into his car, but nobody ever asked her if she was okay.
By ignoring the warnings, they allowed him to continue. Promoting him gave him even more students to prey on. There were people who were meant to keep me safe. If they could fail to protect me, who else have they failed?
Throughout the report, there are claims that Foden manipulated situations. Someone who's experienced this firsthand is Juliet from Bangor. She says her family were targeted by Foden after she raised concerns in 2011 that her son was being bullied at Ysgol Friars. For years, she tried to discuss matters with the authorities, showing me piles and piles of letters and emails.
I have the evidence, the email evidence, letters written to various organisations about Neil Foden's conduct. He had no regard for children at all, and that was clear to me with my dealings that I had with Neil Foden.
Matters got worse after her brother Andrew, an IT technician at the school, stepped in to help, but was later accused of acting against a senior member of staff and was suspended by Foden. Devastated by the situation, Andrew tried to take his own life.
All I want is to make sure that people out there are aware enough to not let this happen again.
The Child Practice Review report shows that young boys were also being targeted by Foden, with examples of him using excessive force. Dawn Roberts' 11-year-old son from Bangor, who had additional learning needs, says he was attacked by Foden in 2021. The report refers to his experiences.
He was so small for his age, much smaller than the rest of the kids. And, yeah, Foden held him down and basically sat on top of him in the corridor.
How do you know this?
I saw the CCTV footage.
After the incident, Dawn asked for her son's school records, and she says that what happened next was unexpected. The police came to her and asked her to file a case against Foden, but the case was dropped after the police spoke to Foden himself. She still hasn't had an explanation.
They were concerned enough to come to me. I didn't go to them, but after, an hour? 2-hour interview with him and his solicitor, it went away. Where are the notes to tell me why or how it went away? Nobody will tell me.
We have asked North Wales Police for a comment on this particular case, but we haven't had a response yet. Thanks to the courage of the victims, the report has revealed failures at a level beyond what anyone expected. Cyngor Gwynedd promised to ensure that all recommendations in the report are carried out in full. Schools, more than any other place, should be safe for children. But in this horrific case, Foden shattered that trust completely.
Ellen Wynne reporting there. And if you've been affected by any of the issues raised tonight, details of organisations offering help and support are available on the BBC Action Line website. Right, many of you will be heading out to bonfires tonight, but I very much doubt you'll be heading to one as big as this. For weeks now, people have been adding all sorts, including doors and pallets, to create a bonfire in Penrhys in the Rhondda, around 80 foot wide and 20 foot high. There is no doubt it'll be spectacular, but will it be safe with the intense heat it'll generate? Well, the council doesn't think so and is worried about the potential dangers, as Nellie Bird now reports.
Look at this massive bonfire that's appeared in the middle of an estate in the Rhondda. From above, its span looks as big as some of the houses. It's not the first time the community of Penrhys has built one, and they think it could be their biggest yet.
The size of this bonfire is absolutely huge. It must be about 20 foot high and possibly about 80 foot wide. And it's been a huge effort for people to get it all together. People have been dropping stuff off for weeks and they're still bringing it today.
It's mainly made of wood, things like pallets and doors, but the odd sofa and mattress can also be seen. 18-year-old Taz has been helping put it together.
We have to get up very early and then we're working through the whole day just to get what we have here right now. And we do it for the community. Gives the children some joy and gives them a lot of fun to do.
This was last year's event, which attracted around 1,500 people. But this year, a focus on the size of the structure has caused the local council to issue a warning. Rhondda Cynon Council said, "We do not support unofficial bonfires. What might seem like fun can quickly turn into a seriously dangerous situation. Over the years, we've uncovered many dangerous items in unofficial bonfires, including tyres, mattresses and sofas." Trevalis, which owns the land, said it had been in touch with the relevant agencies to make them aware of the community-led planned event. Those in the community say safety is a key priority.
The fire brigade have been doing regular checks and having regular meetings. It's been assessed by the fire brigade. We know that it's the police and the fire brigade will be around on the evening as well to monitor it. Over the years, there's always been bonfires up here, but it was a good idea to bring it all into one area and make it a community event.
The event is also free, with free food and drink and a collection box being set up for the local food bank.
With everything going on with the cost of living crisis and everybody, a lot of people are struggling, and it's good to do something positive together.
Lots of us will be attending firework events tonight, but there won't be many where they've built their bonfire quite as high as this Valley's community.
Nellie Bird reporting. Still to come before 7.
It's only rained since I've started walking with Derek. With all my other walking buddies, it's been pretty dry.
Well, I'm not sure how useful he was, but Derek joins Radio Wales presenters Benaz and Catrin on an epic three-legged Children in Need challenge. But did they manage to complete it?
And some persistent rain has brought flooding to parts of Wales. So what happens next? I'll let you know in the forecast if there's any further chances for some flooding, and also talk to you about the bonfire night and the Beaver supermoon.
Just imagine how many times Romeo and Juliet has been played at the iconic Globe Theatre in London. Well, for the first time tonight, it will be performed in a new way, bilingually in Welsh and English. On the one side will be one of Shakespeare's famous warring families, the Montagues, speaking Welsh, and on the other, the Capulets in English. It's been described by Theatr Cymru, who are behind the production, as a milestone event in which the great tragedy will be used as a celebration of the Welsh language in front of a new audience. From the Globe, Gary Owen reports.
It's a story that's been told many times before of two young lovers, Romeo and Juliet, whose families are embroiled in a bitter feud.
By yonder blessed moon, I swear.
But Theatr Cymru tell this tragic tale in a new and unique production.
So often with Romeo and Juliet, we see the difference between the Capulet and Montague households through costume design. I was really interested to see what would happen if you could hear the difference. So the Montagues predominantly speak Welsh and the Capulets predominantly speak English.
The young lovers' relationship is intense, and we watch them navigate their divided worlds, highlighted in this production with the feuding families speaking in different languages.
We've got to do a good job so that people think, yeah, we'd like to see more of that beautiful language that's just across the border. That's my hope, that we inspire more productions of this.
I think
this
we're all
nature.
feeling that. I think we're all feeling the responsibility to make it something special. And because there will be audience members who maybe have never heard Welsh before or don't understand it, maybe they're learning, we are putting our heart into this show. And I'm hoping that because of that and because the story is so well known, whatever level of Welsh the audience have, they're going to understand what we're saying.
This incredible theatre is one of the most iconic venues in the world associated with Shakespeare, and bringing this bilingual production of Romeo and Juliet here to the banks of the Thames is a landmark moment in Welsh language theatre. The original Shakespearean English is heard alongside J.T. Jones's acclaimed Welsh translation in a production that's already been on tour, but no stage has been quite like London's only indoor candlelit theatre, glowing with over 100 beeswax candles.
You don't necessarily have to know Welsh to really enjoy the production, and it feels it's just a glorious piece of art that audiences can sit with, whether they have Welsh, whether they don't have Welsh. So I think it's going to be a lovely surprise at how much they enjoy it.
This production of Shakespeare's great tragedy raises the curtain on the growing popularity and creativity of bilingual theatre making, not just for audiences in Wales and here in London, but from all over the world.
Right, well, let's get drama of a different kind now, because it is time for the sport, and Chris is here. Hi, Chris.
Thanks very much, Nick. Well, he had become tipped to become the new boss at his former club Celtic, but Craig Bellamy made it pretty clear today the only place he wants to go is to the World Cup. The Wales manager this morning named his squad for the upcoming qualifiers with Liechtenstein and North Macedonia, but many were more interested into what Bellamy had to say on speculation he's been lined up to replace Brendan Rodgers at the Scottish champions. Last month's defeat to Belgium may have made Wales's path to the World Cup a little more complicated, but when it comes to the manager's future, Craig Bellamy has made it very simple, effectively ruling out the possibility of becoming new boss at Celtic.
I love what I'm doing at this present moment. I have to be honest. I'm completely focused on what's to come. It's going to be a playoff in March. We know that. I couldn't want for anything more than what I have at this present moment, and that's where it lies with me. It doesn't. Anything else is just not. It's not on my radar, and it won't be on my radar.
The focus, Bellamy says, is on Wales's final two group games, with the playoff for next summer's finals to come in March. But what is still unclear is whether captain Aaron Ramsey will play any part. Again absent from the squad because of injury, amid reports he has left Mexican club Pumas for personal reasons.
If he moves back into football and everything goes well, then that's great. But it's this moment, I'm just more interested in him, his family, that they're okay. He's had difficulties with injuries, and now this is another difficulty for me. Is just him as a person, like I always say. That's more important. All I see is this moment is just getting through this period.
No Aaron Ramsey then, but Dan James is back after recovering from an ankle injury that ruled him out of that defeat against Belgium. And Ben Davies returns, despite not being fully recovered from a hamstring problem. Bellamy says he will monitor Davies's fitness ahead of the trip to Vaduz, with Wales wrapping up the group with a chance to steal second place and home advantage in a playoff semi-final when they face North Macedonia 3 days later.
It's not going to be an easy route, there's no such thing, and to get to a World Cup it's not supposed to be that way. But maybe it'll allow us to avoid 1 or 2 top 10 teams on their ground. That would be beneficial for us. Now, that allows us to really be motivated to finish second for those reasons.
A heavy win against Liechtenstein could make the race for second more straightforward, as Wales and Bellamy keep their focus on reaching the World Cup. And you can see full details of the Wales squad on the BBC Sport website. And a reminder that you, of course, can watch both of those World Cup qualifiers live on BBC Wales and on the iPlayer. Now, staying with football, and Wrexham's James McLean has admitted punching a Cardiff City fan in self-defence before the recent EFL Cup game between the sides. McLean said he was confronted by a group of rival fans in the players' car park. Wrexham say the incident was reported to the relevant authorities. Cardiff say they've not had a formal complaint. And Wrexham are in Championship action tonight, looking to follow up last week's impressive win over league leaders Coventry City. Phil Parkinson's side are away to Portsmouth in an 8 o'clock kick-off. Swansea City, meanwhile, head to 6th placed Preston North End at 7:45. And there's coverage of both those games on BBC Radio Wales on local FM and DAB frequencies. Nick.
Chris, thank you very much. More than 5,000 crosses and commemorative markers have been placed at Cardiff Castle as part of the Royal British Legion's Field of Remembrance. A service was held to mark the opening and was attended by representatives from all 3 of the UK Armed Forces, as well as members of the public. It will be open until Tuesday, the 11th of November.
Today's event is one of the big 3 events that we do to really keep remembrance in the public eye. On Saturday we had our Wales Festival at the ICC, the Wales Fields of Remembrance today, and then of course Remembrance Sunday coming up this week. So these 3 events enable us to really ensure that the public recognises the service and sacrifice of our armed forces in the past, but also the ongoing commitment of their service today in what is quite a dangerous and divided world.
Walking 25 miles in 2 days would be tough enough for most of us, but imagine doing it 3-legged. Well, that's what BBC Radio Wales presenters Ben Azachgar and Catrin Helleth have done between them as part of an epic 1,000 miles 3-legged race challenge for BBC Children in Need. They set off yesterday, but could they make it to the finish line at the Principality Stadium? Lucy Owen was there waiting for them to find out.
After 2 days and 25 miles between them, Benaz and Catrin crossed the finish line, 3-legged, cheered on by supporters, family and a delighted Pudsey. It's been quite the challenge. Along the way, different guests and famous faces have joined them, literally, to help keep the girls going, whatever the weather.
It's not too heavy at the moment, is it?
But can I just say, it's only rained since I've started walking with Derek. With all my other walking buddies, it's been pretty dry.
Concentrate.
Right. Today, they made their way across the Cardiff Bay barrage.
I haven't done this since I was 8 years old, and it's kind of joyful and terrifying all at the same time.
It looks quite awkward. Is it quite difficult?
No, that's just me.
It is for children in need, for a great cause, Kat.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. It's every year, isn't it? You try and do something different with a big smile on your face, but in the back of your mind, you know there's a special reason for doing it. Oh, we're going to we're going to go. You know it's a special reason, and that's why you do it, isn't it?
Derek did complain a lot. He did. He's like, oh, my knees, oh, my knees. I was like, oh, come on. It's only a half a mile. Let's go. But they've all been amazing.
Nearly there, girls. You can do it. Joined to Kat was Alyssa, who works for the charity Bridgend Carers Centre, which has been supported by children in need for the past 6 years. Before setting off, Alyssa told me how the money is used.
The Children in Need funding is specifically for our teen group, so that's 13 to 17-year-olds to take them on little respite breaks. We've gone to so many different fabulous places they wouldn't be able to go with their families. So they might have a brother or a sister who's autistic and they wouldn't be able to deal with the queues in a theme park.
Helping children in need make a difference was all the motivation our three-legged heroes needed.
Girls, you did it! Congratulations!
I can't believe it. What an amazing feeling. We got to meet some incredible people and hopefully we've raised a lot of money, Luce.
I hope
We
so.
do hope so. We do hope so. It'll be all worth it if we have, won't it?
And Pudsey is hoping their achievement will help inspire us all ahead of the big Children in Need fundraising day, a week Friday.
Oh, well done to them. I've got a bad back just looking at that. Right, let's find out what's happening with the weather. Sabrina is here. Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Nick. Well, following the recent flooding, I think a lot of you are wondering what happens next. Well, we do have some wet weather in the forecast over the next few days in the form of some patchy rain and some sharp showers. But I think when you look at the big picture, it will be an improving story. No Met Office weather warnings currently in place, but the last time I checked on the Natural Resources Wales website, there were still 11 flood warnings and 30 flood alerts. So here's the headlines then. So in terms of coastal warnings, a few more of these could be issued if you combine the supermoon and high spring tide. There could be a few issues, but no new river flood warnings anticipated. So it's bonfire night tonight. Also an opportunity to see the Beaver supermoon. So that's the largest, brightest moon of the year. I think more of us, though, have a chance of seeing the fireworks from the supermoon tonight. That's because of the large cloud amounts out there. So if you are out and about this evening, then we will expect a bit more rainfall. And speaking of rainfall, this is what we've seen so far this month. So that's that first column. Some places have seen around 50% of our monthly rainfall already. So we have seen quite a few issues across the country and a bit more rainfall to come over the next few days. So as for this evening then, we start off with some patchy rain, mainly in parts of the south. That will extend its way northwards tonight. But you can still see there's some drier gaps in between. And then after midnight, generally speaking, a return to drier conditions. Quite a mild night given the time of year, 10 to 13 Celsius for the lows and not too windy either. Then our Thursday forecast, it's all about the scattered showers. So not everybody will see one, but where you do, some of those could be heavy in nature. A slight chance for the odd rumble of thunder with some bright or sunny spells mixed in. Not too breezy once again, and quite mild for the time of year. Those temperatures a number of degrees above average. By the time we get to Friday then, another weather front moving in. That will bring a bit more in the way of persistent rain, but it's not going to last all day. So Friday morning, any early brightness or sunshine will be replaced by some thicker cloud. Then as the day wears on, that next band of rain will move in. With that, the breeze will pick up. Temperatures a little bit lower. And then at the moment, Saturday, our drier day of the weekend. That's your latest. See you soon, Nick.
Sabrina, thanks very much. That's Wales Today. Thanks for watching tonight. I'll be back after the 10 o'clock news. I hope you can join me then. Until then, have a good evening.